right, we'll start this off. So, welcome. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm so excited to share my story with you, share why Bravenly, and why the timing is just so good right now. So, I am Jaden Melnick, and I am a senior executive director here at Bravenly Global. And I'm a wife, I'm a mom. I've got three kiddos, a 4.5-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and a now 1-year-old. Right in the middle, you can see that little squish. We live on an acreage in south central Nebraska, and we have chickens, goats, sheep. It's chaos 24/7. It's never dull here. I have worked in swine genetics. Been my only career. And so I've been there for 7.5 years. And in my opinion, that's a long time, but that's just where life has led me. And so I want to take you back to about a year ago because that's when this all started. And so I got started. Um, we had just had our third baby, right? And so I was postpartum. It was probably about this timing, actually. I had talked to Brianna. I had started seeing some of the things she posted, and I saw Rush and I saw Gold. And I was like, man, I really could use some of both of those. The Rush is really what caught my attention. I was exhausted from taking care of a newborn who wasn't sleeping. I had a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old at the time, and Mama was tired. And so Rush really caught my attention. But then the gold also, because I had just had my third C-section, I was puffy, I was inflamed. I just simply wanted to start feeling better. And so I got started um, just because I was interested in the products. I had no idea the business was going to change my life. I had no idea that I was going to see where this took me. And so, excuse me, I was on unpaid maternity leave. And so with that, we were on a tight budget. Yes, my husband and I, we had prepared. We were good, but I knew adding something into our budget just might be a struggle. And so Brianna was like, "What about brand partner?" I was like, "Heck no." And she's like, "Watch this video." And Brianna can tell me that because she is my best friend from college. I've known her for 10 years. She's the person on the right over there. And so she's like, watch this video. And it was a video very similar to what I'm doing tonight. And it was with Tara Castaneda. And that sold me, absolutely sold me. I was like, all right, let's go. And so I ended up talking to my husband, and he was like, and this is the thing that really set me apart was like, he's like, what's the worst thing that could happen? And I was like, well, when you say it like that, I guess. And so that's really, he's like, either you're going to buy the products one time and you bought a lot of them, or you'll make it work. And I knew in the back of my head, I knew he doubted me. And I was like, you know what? I just kind of want to prove you wrong. And so we got started. That's where it began. I had never tried a single product. I had no idea what they tasted like, but I believed Brianna. And not only because she's my best friend, but I believed in what I saw in the video from Tara. I saw the belief and I saw something that just drew me. And I couldn't pinpoint it back then, but I just knew I needed to be here for some reason. Whether it was God calling me, whether it was God telling me this is where I needed to be. I had no idea, but I took the leap and I did it anyways because that belief in Brienne and that belief in me that she gave me, she's like, Jane, you can do this. The one thing she told me from the very get-go, she said, if you can be teachable and you're willing to learn, you'll do just fine. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I'll do whatever you tell me at this point. Um, I had seen Brianna in her previous company for 5 years, and she was great. And it was just, she never pressured me into that company. She never, I tried the products, didn't love them, but she always was just there. And I watched her grow and I watched her succeed. And I say this with love, but there's nothing that Brianna has that I didn't have. Brianna was just a normal person. Brianna is one of the hardest workers I've ever met in my life. She's brilliant at what she does, but I just knew that she wasn't anything different. Like I could be that too if I wanted. It's just she had had the experience. And so I believed in her and I knew that she had something. And so I was like, you know what? Let's do it. All in. And so here are my 5 things. One, I was new to network marketing. I had never, ever been in network marketing, never had any experience. Two, I was scared of my mind. Maybe you are here tonight and you're just like, I am so beyond scared to even start this. I don't know what I'm doing. That's okay. I didn't either. None of us do, right? Third, I'm an introvert. Maybe this video you'll see maybe a little shakiness, I'm looking at my notes because I need some notes. I'm not normally a public speaker. I'm an introverted person, fairly shy. My husband, he can talk to a wall. He's fine. Not me. And so I I was just like, I don't know if I can do this, right? Like I'm an introvert. I don't know. I wasn't huge on social media. That's my fourth thing. I shared my kids, here and there as things, craziness on the farm. It wasn't no rhyme or reason. I just shared as needed, kind of, not on a daily basis. I didn't know how to do a reel. I didn't know how to do stories, but those things you can learn. They are teachable. They're easy once you get the hang of it. And five, going back to what I did for a job, I had a very, very small and closed circle of people that I worked with basically on a weekly basis. I was in farms, and so you work with the people on those farms, and I had a little bit for the job I did. I talked to a few other people, but it wasn't like I had a huge network of people. It's not like I was in a setting where I saw people day in and day out. Very, very closed network. And so, there's a lot of fear, right? I had all the excuses. I had a newborn in my arms. I had two little kids. We had all the things, and I had every excuse to be like, no, I'm too busy. I can't do this. Or no, this isn't what I want to do. Or, but I listened to that little voice in my head and said, there's something here, Jaden. Like, there's something here. You just have to believe in it. And so I knew, okay, going back, my only goal when I first started was to cover my products. So $100, $200, that was my main goal. That was the only goal that I had set for myself. Talked to Brianna about it, and she's like, wow, you can do more, Jaden. But I was like, okay. And so that was my original goal after my first month, right? I'll make no income claims. You have to work and do the things. But my first paycheck after my first 1 month had a comma in it. And I was like, whoa, I don't even know what the heck I'm doing yet. Like, Brianna is just like, you're doing what I told you. Like, why did you not believe me? And sure enough. And so when I saw that comma, I was like, man, like this is something real, right? Like this is money. This is way more than I ever expected. And so that's when it clicked with me. And it was if I wanted more time with my kids, if I wanted to leave the job that I've never loved, then I was going to lean all in. I was going to go all in because I knew something was here that could get me home with my kids. And that was the one desire that I had at that moment. And sure enough, a few months later, I got there. My story, I have such a it's an incredible story, something I never saw coming. But a few months later, I stepped away from my only job I've ever had to Google how to do turn in my resume or turn in my what do you call it? You know what I'm talking about. I wish I could see the comments. Someone's gonna get it for me. Um, had no idea how to do that, how to Google it. And so sure enough, I quit my first ever job and I went to a part-time job. I get time with my kids. It's been the biggest blessing. And it all just comes down to if nothing changes, nothing changes. And so I'm so thankful Brianna has brought me here. And I'm so thankful for the person who brought you here tonight too, because I hope that my story can resonate with you of I'm just a normal person. I'm a busy mom. I have a life that happens. I have things. But if Brianna could do it, then I knew I could do it. And if I can do it, I know you can do it because it's just all about your mindset. And again, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So let's get into it a little bit more about Bravenly. Clicker. All right, so let's meet the owners. So Brent and Aspen Emery are the owners of Bravenly. They are the heart of Bravenly. They have created this beautiful company that so many people have been thriving here. Me, I can thrive here as a first-time person in network marketing, and people with 6, 12, 13, 14 years of experience can also thrive here. Um, they are one of the most servant leaders that you're ever going to meet. I think the minute you meet these people, you'll be like, there's something different here. Like these are good, genuine people, and they have built something truly incredible. They are actually from Nebraska, and so there's a little connection there. Last month when we were in Florida, I was wearing my Nebraska sweatshirt, and Brent had come down. We were eating breakfast, and he saw that I was wearing it, and we like yelled "Go Big Red" at each other, and it was just such a weird kind of interaction. But at the same time, like they're just normal people. There's nothing like they're not at the top of like they're too good to talk to you. They're just normal people who genuinely want to get to know their people in the field who are working with them, working at their company. And the Huskers had played that night. They lost their football game. The next morning, I'm wearing the same sweatshirt, and he's like, I can't believe you're wearing that. I'm like, I know it's my only sweatshirt. And he's like, yeah, I shut my phone off at halftime because it was that bad. I'm like, I know, my husband was not thrilled. And so just the interactions that you can have with them, they're giving hugs, they're giving high fives, they're taking pictures. They're just genuine people who want to get to know the people in the field. And it's just a very, very beautiful thing that I don't think every company has. And again, you're getting this from my perspective of I've never been anywhere else, but knowing what others have said, it's not always like that. And then going to Aspen, Aspen started off as just a Spanish teacher, right? She has years of teaching in her pocket. And so you'll see that throughout this company as she was a teacher. She loves to teach. But her one desire was to become a stay-at-home mom. And she had young kids kind of the same age as what mine are, very, very close in age. And her one desire was to become a stay-at-home mom. And that's what got her into this network marketing. That's what got her into this. Um, got her into this lifestyle, is if you want to call it that. And so she has been in the know, she has built in the field, she has been on the corporate side, and now she's a CEO. And so when you have someone who's seen it all, they get what you do when you're in the field. I can think back to my job when I had managers who had never done my job. They literally will tell me, Jaden, I don't know what you do for a job, but you're doing good. Or they'll say something. It's like, yeah, I know you don't know what I do for a job. Aspen does. She's been here. She's built in the field. She knows exactly what we're going through. And in that aspect, she's also brilliant because she knows how to work with us and what we need. And she's so supportive. I think she's just brilliant in general, but the way she does her launches, the way that she does new products, the way that she does the timing of things, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that she has created here. And then going back to Brent, he was an owner of when they were living in Nebraska. He was the owner of quote unquote a brick and mortar. He had a landscape and snow removal business. And so he has been also on that side. And so when you combine a CEO and someone who's been in all the parts of network marketing, it's something beautiful that they have created. And then the picture in the middle of their four sons and their sweet daughter, Hazel. Their four sons work with them on a daily basis, and they are part of this company and they work with them. And so it truly is family owned, and we mean that because they are there at every event. They're always being seen, helping. Truly, truly incredible. And so I think you would be so surprised with the servant leaders that they are. And once you get to meet them, you will see that immediately. So the Bravenly difference, the corporate leadership, I kind of touched on a little bit of this, explaining who they are, but family owned, like I said, but faith-based, that's something that you're not going to see everywhere. I know Brianna has mentioned it before, but you might have leaders in other companies who are faith-based, but a true company that's faith-based, that doesn't happen everywhere. And they truly mean that. They have prayers over everyone who comes as a speaker on stage. They pray over every single chair at conference. Like that, that's mind blowing. There was 1,400 chairs at the last conference, and every single chair got prayed over between Aspen Brent, her sons, and the corporate team. Someone prayed over that chair for that person sitting there, that they would take away what they needed to take away from that conference. They have prayer requests. They have, how can I pray for you on their website? So when they say that they're faith-based, they show it. We have optional worship. And if you're not into that, that's okay, right? That we're not going to push it on you. We're not going to shove it down your throats. But if you are a person, this is here, and they don't just say it, they show it. I have always been a person with pretty strong faith, but this has even pushed me to a new level. And I really, really appreciate that. We're debt free, which I think is great. Other people that come from companies that maybe aren't, it's a little scary when they're not. And so debt free is a beautiful thing. Um, One owner, right? There's no other people in Aspen and Brent's ears saying they should do this, they should do that. It's truly their company. They get to do whatever the heck they want with it. And that's also such a great thing. So the high impact products that are craveable and that the consumers are or the customers are absolutely loving. There is a 65 to 80% customer reorder rate. Not brand partner, customer. If that doesn't sell you, then I don't know what will. I know people who maybe numbers aren't really your thing because you've never done this before, but for industry standard, 30 to 35 is fairly good. And here we're doubling that. 65 to 80% reorder rate from customers. That tells you that these products are craveable, they are delicious, they are making a difference. Otherwise, people aren't going to buy them, right? If they're not going to do any good, then why would people continuously buy them month after month? It's crazy. And the growth here, I'll touch on that in a little bit later too, but the growth that has happened in the last, they turned five, Bravenly turns five in December. And so their first essentially month, their first year month, they did 1 million in sales. Their second year, they did 8 million. Third year, 19 million. And the fourth year, they did 50 million, which we are projecting and on track to hit 100 million this year. That's insane. Tara had always said this number that stuck with me. 0.02% of companies ever make it to that 50 million mark, and we did it in year four. So you can believe that this company is going to be a billion-dollar company at some point. It is going to be crazy good. And so a lot of people have said like this is just too good to be true. Like I don't believe you. Like this is so good. And it really, really is. There's just so many good things that are happening here. It's crazy good. And so um, anyone can win here. And what I mean by that is, I don't say this to brag or gloat or whatever this might be, but yesterday there was an update that I'm number 217th in the company right now. And as a person with zero network marketing experience, has no idea what they're doing. When I first began, had to build a team, had to do all the things from scratch without really knowing what the heck I was doing. To sit 217th in the company, that's wild. Like that's what we mean by anyone can be successful here if you're willing to put the work into it. And so that is just so, so, so good. And then at the bottom, we have courage, integrity, and impact. And those are our three pillars. And we live by that. All of our stuff is logoed with that. Truly, this company stands on those three things. And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm not going to go over all the products. You can get with the person who invited you here and you can probably watch a video more in depth. But I'm just going to tell you a little bit as to like what sets our products apart because there's a lot of companies out there, there's lots of things, but um, but like what actually sets our products apart, that's where I'm going to just quick touch on. So our products are all multi-beneficial, right? You can see all the things that these are going to do. It's not just one thing where some companies you have to take 10 different, not 10, but like five different things to get maybe what one of our products are going to do. And there's no flavor fatigue, right? I look at the Rush, there's four different flavors of Rush. There's limited time that come out at certain parts of the year. You're not going to get tired of the same drink over and over and over again because you can have variety, which I think is a really great thing. Um, Drop in the chat, what is the one thing or what have the products done for you in your own life, right? Tell us what you're taking and tell us what they've done for you. I'd love for people in the chat to see that. Um, they're craveable. I mentioned that earlier, right? Customers aren't going to continue to order if they're not craveable. If they don't taste good, why would you continue ordering? That'd be just silly. And people are truly getting real results. And so a lot of these, I think of Bravenly Calm, which I think is on the next one. I think of Ignite. You're going to start feeling that within 20 minutes, right? Like you're going to feel them so you know that they're working. Gold, you're going to see in a couple days. I knew when I first started taking gold, within 2 or 3 days, I could feel the inflammation. I could feel better. The puffiness in my cheeks and my face, I felt it going down. I felt better. Rush, you're going to feel within 20, 30 minutes. And our products are clean. We can get you a whole list of like, no this, no this, no this, no this, no soy, no gluten, no whatever, whatever. It's all there. We don't have the junk in there. We don't have the fillers. We have had some of the crunchiest people comb through these products and give the stamp of approval. And so any other crunchy mamas out there, just know that many other doctors, nurses have gone through these. These products are naturopathic doctor formulated. And so there's a whole group of doctors that got together and they remain anonymous because they're still working in the practice, but they got together, formulated these, and they are so incredibly smart as to how they did these because they work that well. Here's that calm. You're gonna feel that lowering your stress levels and help you with your mood within 20 minutes. I personally take that when my kids are going crazy. Drift is great for when you need to sleep. So many of these products are truly, you're going to feel them within that first time you take it. And there's even products on here that didn't make the slideshow because they're that new. We have more things coming out in the next 12 to 18 months that are going to just blow you away. Because again, going back to Aspen as a brilliant woman, she truly is, and I mean that. So more products should really be added to this because we have a kids line that we have launched now, and they're going to continue to add to that. So it's not just for adults now, we're adding kids into it, and so that's where it becomes really, really exciting. Our products have nootropics and adaptogens, and so adaptogens help you adapt to the stress in your life. Nootropics, they turn your brain on, they help you focus, they help you with that cognition and getting things done. I really, really appreciate that, especially like that mom brain gets rid of that very, very quickly. Um, and so these aren't just um, so some of these are physical transformations. Here it is. So that's actually me in that top right corner. These products truly do make a physical transformation, but I think you have to think of your mental transformation, what it does to your mind, what it does to just your happiness. I think this is the happiest I've felt in a very, very long time. My first two postpartum experiences were not this good. Looking back, I can say I wasn't okay, probably closer to that postpartum depression side. Didn't know it was that bad until I had our third, and I took these products, and I'm like, dang, like these work, like this is the happiest, this is the best I've felt in a very, very long time. And so I do attribute taking Bravenly to how I was feeling. And you can see those photos. I think on the left, I was 6 weeks postpartum, like right when I got my kit, essentially. And then the other photo was 12 or 16. So just a couple weeks later, 2 months maybe. So truly, I do believe that these products work because you can see them. Um, and most people start with bundles. And so here are just a few of our top bundles. Accelerate Trio is kind of like our go-to because it covers a whole multitude of things if you are dealing with and so if you are, yeah, we'll go through the products. You can go with that for the person who invited you here. But Fit Brew Trio is a great one if you're a coffee lover. And the Fab Five is really great if you're looking for like a significant weight loss journey. Starting with those are going to be so great. And again, there's that 65 to 80% customer order rate because truly they do work that well that people are going to continue to reorder them. You're not begging. I've heard from previous people at other companies that sometimes you're like, hey, are you ready to reorder? Or hey, can I get you a discount? Like people truly want these products. So let's talk about some systems at work. There's so many systems that we have, not only as a team, but as a company. Aspen did not create this company without having systems in place. She wanted people to be able to come in and have graphics that were beautifully made, have things at their fingertips so that they didn't have to do all the work. You're not reinventing the wheel, you're not recreating the wheel, you're just doing the things that she's asked you to do. Like go talk to people, go share about Bravenly, go be the person that you get to introduce Bravenly to. She did all the hard work. She's got a beautiful team. Ashley Walmart, think of her. She's a VP of Field Development. She does trainings every single Monday. She does trainings multiple times a month because she knows how important that is to the field. And so we have things at our fingertips so that you're not having to do it yourself. Our team is leading the company in rank ups, rank advancements, recruitment. There's things happening on our specific team that isn't happening everywhere. And so when we say we have systems, we truly do. So we have regular opportunity events, something like this, right? And a call every Tuesday and Thursday night. You can get on live, you can hear about the company, hear about someone's story, hear about the products. We have streamlined onboarding. It's a 2-week system that we have that gets you not overwhelmed. It just gets you into action very quickly. And so you can start earning a paycheck. You can start earning and helping people start to feel better. And then we have duplicatable checklists. And so I'll go into that a little bit. But we have testimonial pages as well. You can go in, you can go look and see what these people are actually experiencing, whether they're brand partners, whether they're customers. People are giving true testimonies and so we also utilize three-way chats often. And so the person who invited you here might get you in a three-way chat with their mentor and just use that third-party tool of like, hey, like, what are your questions? Let's talk through it. Truly, I've used Brianna because that's how I got started. She put me in a three-way chat, and then I have used her in a three-way chat. We use these tools so that we can continue to grow our business. Because the thing is, you don't have to know everything. And I think that was one of my biggest fears because it's like, how am I going to learn everything? How am I going to know everything? And Brianna said, you don't have to know everything. You just have to be willing to do the work. She's like, I know stuff, so I will help you. My very first day as a brand partner, I actually recruited my best friend to come with me, my other best friend. And so I started this business with her. And I'm like, Brianna, I don't know what to teach her. And she's like, I'll teach you both. Like, sillies, like, don't worry about it. You don't have to know everything because someone else here will, and they're going to help you. So again, coachable, and be willing to learn. So then the next thing that is really, really important right now is just the timing, lucrative timing. I went over this earlier, but year one, we did 1 million. Year two, 8. Year three, 19. Year four, 50. And we're on track to hit 100. And so when you get to be the person that introduces people to Bravenly, it's very, very exciting. Many, many companies have hundreds of thousands of brand partners or whatever they call them. And here we have less than 12,000 active brand partners in the United States. And we have just barely launched into Canada. So it's a very wide open market of who we can talk to because, yeah, if you think of other companies, they might have so many brand partners. Everyone has a person for this, has a person for that, has a person for this, but not many people have a person for Bravenly. And so you can be the person that introduces them to Bravenly, and that might just be the thing that changes their life. So it's very, 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 very critical timing because we're in this thing called pre-momentum. And so once you hit momentum, things get crazy and it blows up and we're getting there. We're within, 12 months, maybe 18 months before we're in full out momentum. And that's when everybody and the dog is going to know about Bravenly. So you can get in now and be the person that hears about Bravenly from you. So that's very, very exciting. The Inc. 5000, I don't have it on here, but the Inc. 5000 is a very, very high up list, and it's about privately owned businesses in the United States. And Bravenly is ranked number 6th for consumer products. Number 6 out of thousands, right? Like that's huge. That's a huge accomplishment that Bravenly can be number 6. So any product that you can ship to your house. So if you think of like Under Armour, you think of like Chobani, you think of Poppy, all privately owned companies, we are sitting at number 6. That's wild. That's huge. I'm probably not yelling loud enough because my kids are sleeping, but that's huge. And so the timing is just so stinking critical. I know I've heard from other leaders, they're like, man, what if I had just gotten into this company maybe 2 years earlier or maybe 5 years earlier? Like, think about what my life would be like. This is the timing here at Bravenly. Think about what your life can look like if you join now and get in before the momentum fully hits. That's what I'm going to say about that. We are going to be a 1 billion-dollar brand. It's just we're getting there. And so if you want to get in now before we get there and be part of like the OGs or whatever you want to say, then this is the timing. All right. And we can talk about compensation quickly. Again, if you're a new person, none of this is going to make sense. None of this is going to be like, oh my gosh, but maybe these numbers at the top, if you can see my little scrolly, you can check out here. So I'm currently sitting right at here, Senior Executive Director, and I'm pushing for Vice President. So that's a pretty significant jump in money, and that's what I'm really, really shooting for by the end of the year. This month, next month, we're gonna get it, and I'm really excited. A lot of the industry standard is to pay out at 35% on a reduced value. And so I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of that, but just know that Bravenly pays out on the full retail value. So that means you're getting more money back in your pocket, what it comes down to. Again, like Aspen has been on our side before, and so she knows that it's very important to be paying your people the right amount. And so we're getting paid out between 55 and 60% here. Like, did you hear that? 55 to 60% here. That's crazy. So that's where we're getting these numbers. Um, there's no like rank advancement based on volume. Like it's if you've been in another company, maybe that makes sense to you. If you haven't, don't worry about it. We get paid for weekly, so you can get paid every Monday essentially. So if there's 4 or 5, and then you get paid on the 15th of every month. So 5 times a month you're getting paid when you have sales. And so not every company does that either. You have the opportunity to earn up to $44,000 in bonuses. I can proudly say that I have earned up to whatever senior executive director is. I should have done the math beforehand, but I haven't missed a single one, and that's a lot of money. That really adds up quickly. And there is unlimited first order bonuses, and so you're not just getting a bonus one time, it continues. And again, if you're not used to what that kind of language is, don't worry about it. You can talk to the person who brought you here and they can go into this a little more in detail. But right here, director is one of our core ranks. And so that's about $500 a month. So if you're a person who just literally wants to bring home a little bit extra, director is a great goal. And then the next leadership, the leadership one is the vice president. And so leadership core rank, excuse me. That is vice president, and that's the one that I am headed towards next. And so those are two. And then once you hit those, there's kind of more bonuses into it. Again, that can get down into the nitty-gritty. So I'm not going to go into there, but just know like Brianna has said that she knows every single person at one of these. That's pretty incredible. If you look at way up here, that's a lot of money. This is per month, right? This is money that changes lives. Very, very cool. So, the chat is a safe place. So if you want to put in like what monthly income would benefit your family, like if you could choose any number on here, what is the money that is going to benefit your family the most? For me, I'm really, really looking forward to that vice president money. I'm not gonna lie, but executive vice president, that also looks really, really dang nice. That's a huge goal for next year for me. And we're gonna just keep plugging away at it because this company is worth it and it's just very, very awesome. So we have this game plan for director. So wait, we said director is our core rank. So we say director, director, director. When I first watched that video of Tara, that's the one thing I remember from her. And so when you start developing directors, that's where you kind of get these bonuses and where the money really, really starts to add up. So what is director, right? It's our core rank, but what does that actually mean? And so we have these beautiful things that have been created for us, right? Again, like we didn't have to create them. We have someone who has them. And so essentially this comes down to, and I'm not going to get into it, but essentially this comes down to, do you know three people in your life that could use some extra money? Whether that's a best friend, whether that's someone in your family, whether that's a complete stranger, you never know. But do you know three people in your life that could use some extra income? And I think the thing that I also like to touch on here is you can pick and choose like who you want to work with. I get to work with my best friends because I've asked them. Brianna has asked me. I have met some of my best friends through this company because someone asked us to take a look at this. It doesn't mean they're always going to say yes, but at least ask them. And then the other part is, do you know two people who need to start feeling better? Um, I think everyone in our lives just knows that someone probably wants to feel a little better, whether it's just a healthier energy source or a mushroom coffee, because that's a huge thing right now, or someone needs to lose some weight or just wants to feel better postpartum, like I was. Like, do you know two people? Because that's what gets you here. And then down here, if you add all that up together, that's the money that you're looking at. Like that's incredible money. And so we have all this stuff. Your mentor can go through this with you, but we have things that you can visually see and visually do, and this is how you're going to earn income. So it's all up to you. It's all about how hard you're going to work and how much time and effort you're going to put in, because that's going to reflect in your paycheck. So, how do you get started as a brand partner? So we have four different ways that you can enroll. So the first one is a 49.99 kit, and so that's just a Bravenly business kit. There's no products in that. It's just your essentials to kind of get started. The next one is a $2.99 kit, and that's going to get you 5 products plus your business kit. And then the $4.99, same thing again, it's $6.99. You can see the more products added. The beautiful thing about these three that have the actual products with it, you're going to be getting some Bravenly cash, so you can use that on another order, and you're going to get event cash. So that means for any events that you're going to go to, whether that's conference, we have a conference coming up in February in South Carolina in Charleston, or if you get to go on a leadership conference, you can use money towards those. So here's the deal. Many, most people I talk to, they end up saying, I regret not getting the bigger pack. And I am one of those. I ended up getting the $2.99 kit, and I wish more than anything else I would have gotten the $6.99 because I think a week after my kit came, I turned around and I spent a whole bunch more money because the minute I tried Rush, I wanted all the flavors. And once I tried one Hydrate, I wanted the other flavors of Hydrate. So understand if you have a budget, stick to that budget, right? We're not asking you to take out a huge loan or whatever, but just know many people say that they regret not getting the bigger pack. Actually, in our most popular one, I'll be honest, is that 4.99 kit. This is the most popular kit that we sell to people who are ready to begin this business because it really gives you a great a really good product so you can start handing them out to friends, family, whatever. We have a great system to actually start selling samples, and that's a great way to start earning your kit back essentially. And so we do lots of sample sales to yeah, to get people get it in their hands, get them trying it, and then they can figure out what they want to try for flavor or what's going to work best for them. So, what questions do you have? Are you ready to get started?